There is a war you have been fighting for years, and no one has ever seen it. No fists, no shouting, just you awake before the house stirs at war with a life that will not do as it's told. You fight a body that broke its old promises. You fight the empty chairs, the friends who drifted, the ones who are simply gone. You fight a phone that rings, less a house grown too quiet, the strange ache of standing in a room while the important conversations happen without you. And in the smallest hours you fight the cruelest one of all the decisions you cannot unmake. All of it is real. None of it is your failure. Growing older, losing people, watching your place in the world quietly shift. This is simply what it means to be alive. But here is what most people never see. The Buddha never taught anyone how to win these battles. He never promised a body that stays young or a life where no one leaves. He looked straight at aging and loss and called them the current of things moving the way water moves. He pointed instead to a different war, the only one that can actually be won. And in these next minutes I want to walk you to it through the body, the people who leave the need to matter, the weight of regret. So let me ask you one thing, not to answer quickly, to sit with. Are you suffering because of what has changed, or because some part of you still demands it change back? The river will keep moving. That was never yours to stop. Whether you spend these years fighting the water that still is. Lesson 1. Stop demanding a young body from an aging life. Start with the most honest place, the body. It will not return to 25. You know this, and still some quiet part of you keeps filing complaints against the knees, the back, the energy that used to arrive on command, and now comes and goes like weather. You do more and feel it longer. You rest, and the rest doesn't repay you the way it once did. The pain is real. Let no one tell you otherwise. But watch closely, because something else rides in alongside it, something the pain didn't ask for. Resentment. The body aches, and then a second voice arrives. This shouldn't be happening to me. And that second voice, not the ache itself, is where a whole new kind of suffering begins. The pain is the first arrow. The war against the pain is the one you fire yourself. Here is a way of seeing it that changes everything, though it sounds almost too simple. Your body was never a possession. It was never a thing you owned and could keep in its original condition, like a house you refuse to let age. In the Buddhist view, the body is not a noun at all. It is a verb, a process, a river of cells and breath and change that has been moving since the day you were born, and it was moving toward this all along. You did not do something wrong to arrive here. The body is simply doing what every living thing does. It is obeying nature. So much of the ache in later years is not the body itself. It is the gap between the body you have and the body you still picture when you close your eyes. You measure today against a memory, and today always comes up short, not because today is poor, but because you are comparing a living thing to a photograph. Put the photograph down, just for a moment, and look at what is actually here. This is not a call to give up on the body. Acceptance is not surrender, and it is not neglect. The person who accepts an aging body is not the person who stops caring for it, quite the opposite. When you stop fighting the body, your hands are finally free to tend it. There is a gentler way to live inside these years. You can listen to the body instead of interrogating it. You can ask what it needs today rather than demanding what it gave you 30 years ago. You can walk the distance. It can walk. Feed it what steadies it, rest it without shame, and move it with something that feels less like punishment and more like care. This is the difference between two people carrying the very same aching knee. One spends the day furious at the knee for betraying him. The other simply slows his step and keeps walking. The knee is identical, the suffering is not. Accepting the body is not laying down your dignity, it is laying down the whip. It is stopping the long, exhausting habit of punishing your own body for the crime of following nature. The same nature that turns every leaf, that ages every mountain, that carries every river to the sea. The body is the first place the river shows itself. You feel the current in your own hands before you feel it anywhere else. But the body is only the beginning, because it isn't only the body that moves and changes and slips beyond our grip. People do too. Lesson 2. Let people leave without believing you are worth less. Now the harder current, because the body at least stays with you. People do not. Friends drift not always through any quarrel, sometimes just through the slow work of distance and years. Some move away, some fall ill, and some walk through a door that does not open again and leave a silence behind them shaped exactly like the space they used to fill. And here is the quiet danger of it. When enough people leave, a thought begins to form, so gradually you never notice it arrive. If my world is getting smaller, then perhaps I am getting smaller too, as though each departure took a piece of your worth out the door with it. That thought is a lie, a convincing one, but a lie. And the Buddhist way of seeing why is worth slowing down for. Nothing in this life stands alone. Everything that appears, a friendship, a marriage, a face across the dinner table, arises when the conditions are right and passes when those conditions change. The old teaching calls this dependent arising, but you can feel it in plainer words. Everyone who came into your life came in on a wave of circumstance, and every wave that rises must also fall. The meeting and the parting were never two separate events. They were always the two ends of the same thread. To have been given a person at all was to have been promised from the very first day that one of you would eventually have to let go. This is not meant to chill you, it is meant to free you from a false accusation. The people did not leave because you became less. They left because that is what the conditions of a life do. They gather, and they scatter the way weather gathers and scatters the way the river takes on water in one place and gives it up in another. There is a second thing the teaching sees clearly, and this one asks more of us. Love was never the same as holding on. We confuse the two constantly. We tell ourselves that if we truly loved someone, we would grip them, keep them, refuse to release them, even after they are gone. But grasping is not love. Grasping is fear wearing love's face. And the mind that clings to someone who has already departed is not preserving anything. It is only stretching the ache out longer, mistaking the length of its suffering for the depth of its devotion. You are allowed to grieve. Grieve fully. Grief is love, with nowhere left to go, and it deserves its time and its tears. What you are not required to do is take that grief and file it as evidence. Evidence that your life has narrowed, that your best days closed behind the people who left. Because a smaller circle is not a smaller life. A room with 3 people you love in it can hold more warmth than a hall of 100 you barely know. As the outer world quiets, something has room to deepen that noise never allowed. The friendships that remain grow roots. The presence of the people still here becomes something you actually taste, instead of something you assume will always be there. Loss, strange as it sounds, can teach you how to love what remains without taking a single moment of it for granted. Let people leave. Let the ones who are gone be gone with all your love following them out, and then turn gently back toward the ones still sitting at your table. The river carries some people away from you. It also keeps bringing water to the ones who stayed. But there is a deeper fear hiding underneath all of this leaving. It is the fear of what happens when the last chair empties, when you are left finally alone with yourself. That is the next place we have to go. Lesson 3. Become a refuge to yourself, without closing your heart. So here you are in the quiet, the last lesson left behind, fewer chairs at the table, and a question you may have spent a lifetime avoiding when everyone else is gone, or busy, or asleep. Can I sit with my own company, or does the silence frighten me? Most of us built our peace on other people, the children who needed us, the partner who filled the evenings, the friend whose call could turn a grey day warm. There is nothing wrong in that. Love is meant to be leaned on, but when every ounce of your steadiness is stored in someone else's hands, you have made your inner weather a hostage to their presence. They arrive, and you are well. They leave, and you come undone. Your calm goes out the door each time they do. There is an old instruction spoken near the end of a life that has quietly held people up for centuries. Be a lamp unto yourself, not a wall. A lamp. It does not say need no one. It says carry your own small light, so that when the room goes dark, you are not left with nothing. The teaching points inward, toward a steadiness that does not have to be delivered by anyone else. Learning this late in life is not a defeat. It may be the most dignified thing a person ever does. It begins in the smallest way. The next time loneliness rises, try just once not to flee it, not to drown it in the television or the phone or a call made only to make the ache stop. Sit with it the way you would sit with a frightened animal, without grabbing and without running. Breathe, let it be there. And notice slowly that it does not destroy you, that underneath the ache is something quieter and steadier than the ache, something that was always yours, waiting to be found. That steadiness is what the teaching means by refuge. Not a fortress, a hearth, a warm place inside you that you can return to when the outer warmth withdraws. But here is where you must be careful, because there is a way to get this exactly wrong. Some people hear, be your own refuge, and quietly begin to close. They decide after enough disappointments that needing no one is the same as being free. They stop reaching out. They call it strength. But a heart that has bricked itself shut has not found peace. It has only found a lonelier kind of prison and hung a nobler sign on the door. Self-refuge was never meant to be a wall against people. It was meant to be a floor beneath you, so that you can love others without clutching them, welcome them without depending on them for your very survival. When you are no longer starving, you can finally enjoy the meal. When you are no longer drowning, another person's hand becomes a gift, not a lifeline you'd die without. So do both. Tend your own inner fire and keep the door open. Be able to sit alone and still say yes to the dinner, the visit, the grandchild's call. The goal was never to need no one. The goal was to stop needing everyone to save you. Learn to be your own quiet company, and you will find you have more love to offer, not less. You can be a river that no longer depends on any single spring, fed from within and still flowing outward toward everyone left on its banks. And yet, even for someone who has found this footing, one hunger tends to remain, not the need to be loved. The need to be important, to still matter, to still be called upon. That is the next place the river takes us. Lesson 4. Release the need to remain important. There is a particular ache that arrives quietly in the later years, and almost no one names it out loud, because to name it feels like vanity. It is the ache of becoming invisible. You were for decades someone the world turned toward, the one the family called when something broke, the one whose opinion shaped the room, whose hands the work could not do without, whose name was spoken with weight. And then slowly the calls come less often. Decisions get made without you. A younger voice answers the questions that used to be yours. You walk into the gathering and feel for the first time that the center of the room has moved, and it is no longer where you are standing. It stings in a place that's hard to admit. And to understand why it stings so much, you have to look at what was quietly holding your sense of self together all along. For most of a life, we build our identity out of what we do and who needs us. I am the provider. I am the one they rely on. I am the expert, the fixer, the pillar. Layer by layer, we construct a self out of roles, and then we mistake the construction for the foundation. So when the roles fall away, as roles always eventually do, it feels as though the self is falling with them, as though invisibility were a kind of death. But here is what the Buddhist eye sees, and it changes the whole picture. The self you have been defending was never actually made of those roles. They were costumes worn for a time suited to a season, and you are the one who wore them, not the cloth itself. The teaching has a word for this, anatta, the seeing through of a fixed and solid self. But you don't need the word to feel the truth underneath it. The father is a role, the manager is a role. The one everyone depends on is a role. And every one of them was a temporary condition, real, meaningful, but never the whole of what you are. When the world stops handing you the costume, it is not taking you away. It is only asking who you were beneath it the entire time. This is the quiet turn that later life makes possible if you let it. A move from being needed to simply being present. Because there is a freedom on the other side of importance that the important years never allowed. You no longer have to solve every problem set before you. You no longer have to prove your usefulness to earn your place at the table. You no longer have to compete with the young for relevance racing to stay ahead of a current that was always going to outpace you. All of that striving can finally be set down, and what remains when it's gone is lighter than you expect. An old man sitting silently in the garden, watching his grandchildren play, is not producing anything the world would measure. He is not fixing, earning, or proving. And he may be more fully alive in that hour than in any board meeting he ever ran, because for once he is only here wanting nothing from the moment except to witness it. Your worth was never a wage the world paid you for being useful. It does not end the day the world stops calling your name as often as it used to. The calling was always the smaller thing. The being, the plain fact of your presence, awake and awake to it all, was the treasure the whole time. Let the river carry the titles downstream. You were never the current's usefulness. You were the water itself. But when the doing quiets and the striving stills, something tends to rise up into all that new silence, something we spend our busy years outrunning, the past, the things we did, and the things we failed to do. That is the next place we have to go. Lesson 5. Turn regret into compassionate wisdom. When the doing finally quiets, this is what comes to fill the silence. Not always at first. But in the still hours, the ones the busy years used to swallow, the past begins to return, and it does not return gently. The opportunity you let pass, the choice you would give anything to unmake, the words you never said to someone who is no longer here to hear them. They rise up uninvited, and they bring a particular kind of pain with them, the pain of a life you cannot go back and edit. Regret is perhaps the heaviest of all the arrows, because this one you fire not at the moment, but at yourself. So look closely at what regret actually is, because it is stranger than it seems. Where right now does that failure of 30 years ago exist? Not out in the world. The world moved on long ago. It exists in one place, only in this present moment, in the mind that is turning it over. The past is gone the instant it happens. What remains is memory, and memory is not the past itself, but a living thing arising here now each time you summon it. The Buddhist eye sees this plainly. You are not being haunted by a fixed event out there. You are again and again reaching back and lifting the weight into the present with your own hands. And this matters because it means the endless trial you keep holding, the one where you are both the accused and the judge, heals nothing. You cannot repair the past by sentencing the person you used to be over and over to the same verdict. That younger self acted with the eyes he had then, not the eyes you have now. To condemn him with today's wisdom is to punish a person for not yet knowing what only time could teach. But do not mistake this for permission to look away. There is a real difference between two things that wear the same face, and the whole of your peace depends on telling them apart. Regret that awakens you is medicine. It shows you what you value by showing you what you mourn. It can move you to mend what is still mendable. But regret that only punishes you is poison. It changes nothing, repairs nothing, teaches nothing. It simply drives the arrow deeper and calls the bleeding penance. So there is a way to hold the past that neither denies it nor drowns in it. It moves in 3 quiet motions. First, acknowledge what happened, not with excuses and not with self-attack, just the clear, level gaze that says, yes, this was so. Honesty without cruelty. Second, repair what can still be repaired. If a call can still be made, make it. If an amends is still possible, offer it. If a relationship still breathes, tend it while it does. Some doors are not yet closed, and regret's one honest use is to walk you back to them before they are. And third, the hardest release, what can no longer be changed. Some doors are shut for good. Some people are beyond any apology you could now make. And to keep hurling yourself at a sealed door does not honor what was lost. It only adds your own broken hands to the tally of the loss. Grieve it, learn from it, and set it down. Let the mistake become a teacher. There is an old kindness in this. The same event that has been your jailer can become, if you turn it, your instructor. What condemned you can be the very thing that softens you toward your own younger self, and then toward everyone else still stumbling through the dark you once stumbled through. That is how regret ripens into compassion. It stops being a wall you beat against and becomes a window you finally see other people through. The river does not flow backward, not for anyone, but it can carry in its current everything those hard years taught you downstream into whoever you are still becoming. And once the past loosens its grip, you find you have energy again. Energy you'll want to spend well on peace rather than on the dramas and demands that drain it. Which is the last place we're going. Lesson 6. Protect your peace without hardening your heart. By now, something has quietly become clear to you that the younger years never allowed time is no longer endless, and a life that once had decades to waste on things that drained it now has a different math. The hours matter more because there are fewer of them. And so a question sharpens that you may never have asked so plainly before: what and who am I still willing to spend this peace on? Because some things cost too much now. The manufactured drama, the relationship that only takes, the obligation you keep honoring out of guilt long after it stopped meaning anything. The person who every time you leave their company has somehow left you smaller. In the crowded middle of life you could absorb these things, you had the surplus. You do not have the surplus anymore, and pretending you do is its own slow bleeding. So you begin to protect your peace. You say no more often. You step back from what corrodes you. And this is right. This is wisdom, not selfishness. But there is a wrong way to do it, And it is worth seeing clearly because the wrong way looks almost identical to the right one from the outside. The wrong way is to armor the heart. To decide after enough people have cost you too much that the safest thing is to stop letting anyone close at all. To mistake a wall for a boundary. And this is the trap. Bitterness disguises itself as self-protection. It tells you it is keeping you safe, while it quietly builds you a second prison, one where nothing can hurt you because nothing can reach you at all. Here the Buddhist eye draws a distinction most of us blur. Compassion was never the same as endless tolerance. The teaching does not ask you to stand still while you are harmed or to call the absorbing of cruelty a virtue. It asks something subtler, that you protect your peace without letting your heart curdle in the process. A boundary drawn from clarity and a wall built from resentment can look the same from a distance, but they come from opposite places. And they leave you in opposite conditions. One keeps your heart open behind a door you can close when you need to. The other slams the door and welds it shut. So learn to say no without feeding hatred. You can decline the demand and still wish the person well. You can walk away from what wounds you without needing to make the other into a villain to justify your leaving. You are allowed to simply say, "This harms me, so I will not stand in it," and go quietly with no war declared, no grudge packed for the road. There is a freedom in this that the resentful never taste. When you set a boundary without bitterness, you carry nothing heavy away from it. The person who cut you loose in anger drags the anger everywhere they go afterward. The person who steps back in peace simply steps back and keeps their peace intact. One of them is still tied to what they left. The other is actually free. This is the delicate art of the later years, to become soft and firm at once. Firm enough to guard the small, quiet good you have finally built. Soft enough that guarding it never turns you to stone. To keep the gate and keep the garden green behind it. Protect your peace, yes. But guard it the way you would guard something alive and growing, not the way you would guard something already dead. Let the river flow around the stones without becoming stone itself. It gives way, and it endures. It yields, and it is not moved. That is the strength that does not harden. And so we come to the end of the six, the body, the leaving, the aloneness, the fading, the past, and now the peace you protect. 6 places where the same quiet war is fought, which leaves one last thing to understand before we close. Not another battle to lay down. Something gentler, what is actually waiting for you on the far side of all this letting go. There is a quiet grief underneath everything we have talked about, and it deserves to be spoken plainly. Somewhere in these years, many people come to a private, frightening conclusion that happiness itself is behind them, that it belonged to the years of strength and noise and forward motion, and what remains now is only the long dimming afterward. I want to sit with that fear, because it is real, and because it rests on a mistake so common we rarely catch it. Think back to what happiness looked like when you were young. It wore loud clothes. It was the achievement, the promotion, the new thing acquired, the door opening onto something bigger. It was excitement, the fast pulse, the full calendar, the sense of a life expanding outward in every direction. It was being seen, being chosen, being celebrated. For decades, that was the shape happiness took, and so that became the only shape you learned to recognize. But happiness was never bound to that one form. It only wore it for a season, because there is another kind, and it does not announce itself the way the first kind did. It is quieter and easy to miss if you are still listening for the old noise. It is contentment, the deep, unhurried ease of a person who is no longer chasing. It is stillness that no longer feels like emptiness. It is depth, the richness that only comes to a life that has stopped racing across the surface. It is presence, the plain, astonishing fact of being here awake. On an ordinary morning, with the light coming through the window and the tea going warm in your hands. This happiness was always the deeper of the two. You simply couldn't hear it before over the sound of everything you were chasing. Here is where so many good lives go quietly wrong in their final chapters. They keep holding up the yardstick of youth to measure an entirely different season, and of course the measurement comes back short. If you insist that happiness must look like acceleration, then a life that has slowed will always seem like a life that is failing. But it is not failing. It has changed shape, and you are grieving an absence that is only the absence of the old form, while the new one sits right beside you, unnoticed, waiting to be counted as real. A quieter life is not a lesser life. Read that again slowly, because a whole culture has spent your entire lifetime insisting on the opposite. A slower river is not a poorer river. Nearer the sea, a river spreads and deepens and grows calm, and no one stands on that bank and mourns that it is no longer a rushing mountain stream. They call that stretch of water serene. They call it wide. They do not call it less. You are in the wide, deep part of the water now. The current has slowed, not because something has gone wrong, but because this is what the river becomes as it nears its home. The happiness did not leave you. It only set down its loud clothes and put on something you have to grow quiet enough to see. And once you can see it, once you stop measuring this season by the rules of a season that is over, a different question rises. Not how do I get the old life back, but something softer and far more freeing. What would it mean to simply stop fighting and let the river carry you the rest of the way home? Picture a person standing waist deep in a river. They have planted their feet against the current, and they are pushing both hands flat against the water, trying to hold it still, trying to keep this stretch of river exactly where it is, to stop it from moving on. Watch them long enough, and you see what it costs. The trembling arms, the breath gone ragged, the whole body clenched against something that was never for one instant going to stop moving. The water pours through their fingers no matter how hard they press. And still they push, because to stop pushing feels like losing, and they have forgotten there was ever another way to stand in a river. That person is not foolish. That person is nearly all of us in the years when the water starts to run faster than we'd like. And then sometimes from exhaustion, sometimes from something wiser than exhaustion, the hands open. Notice what happens and what does not. The river does not stop. It was never going to stop. It flows on exactly as it did before, cool and steady, moving toward wherever rivers go. Nothing about the water has changed at all. The only thing that ends is the fight. The arms come down. The breath returns. And the person who was a moment ago at war with an entire river is simply standing in it, now held by the same current they were straining against, feeling for the first time how gently it was always willing to carry them. You cannot hold the water still. You were never able to. Not the body it is slowly changing, not the faces it has carried out of your life, not the name the world called you when you stood nearer the source. The river was always going to move. That was never the question. The question was only ever this: how much of your one remaining stretch of it will you spend with your hands pressed flat against the water? There are years still ahead of you. Fewer than there were, yes, but yours, entirely yours in a way the striving years never quite were. And how you stand in them is the one thing the current leaves in your hands. You can spend them clenched and trembling at war with a river that will win anyway, or you can let your arms come down and discover that the thing you were fighting was ready this whole time to hold you. So here is the last thing, and then I'll leave you in the quiet with it. Freedom does not arrive on the day the river finally bends to your will. That day is not coming for anyone. Freedom arrives on a much quieter day, the day you stop needing it to. The water is moving. It has always been moving. Somewhere just ahead it widens and slows and grows calm and turns toward home. Your hands are open now. Let it carry you.